Hi listeners, Harika here, and I'm super excited to welcome you to Upptalk. If you're ready to learn and get your hands work wonders in the world of information technology, then you're in the right place. When I say Upptalk, we are not just another edtech company. Consider we are your learning partner committed to unlocking your full potential. Whether you're stepping into the world of technology for the first time or looking to advance your career, we provide top-tier, hands-on courses to build up your career. Let's take our first step towards learning here and explore it. Let's investigate SAP, a well-known enterprise resource planning system, and discover its many functionalities and business applications.
Nothing else. So see whatever. So there are two kinds of objects here. One is your catalog objects. Catalog objects are called static objects. These are all static objects. You cannot import these catalog objects from one system to another system. From development environment to quality environment, you cannot import this or you cannot transport these objects. But whatever use that you are able to create in a package. So your package is in content folder. So let us say whatever views you can be able to see here, like attribute view, analytic view, calculation view, analytic privilege or procedure or a decision table. So whatever data or whatever objects that you are creating under your package in the content folder, you will be able to transport this from one system to another system. These are called runtime objects. What are these called? These are called runtime objects. Basically, what you can do with the runtime objects. With runtime objects, you'll be able to transport these objects from one system to another system. So, if you want to transport the data, if you want to transport your views, you have to create the data under your packages. I'm going to discuss about it. These are the different kinds of privileges that we assign when we are assigning the object privilege. Just now we have assigned a privilege here to hello. Hello is here. So we have assigned a privilege here. While assigning, we are assigning some access here. And all the privileges that you see for this thing has a significance of its own. So what significance does it have? So you can go through the content. It basically gives the access. It's very simple. It will give access to create all kinds of objects, tables, views, or sequences for the user in that particular schema. While assigning that access, if you want the user to be able to create any kinds of tables, views, or sequences under that particular schema, you can check this privilege. This is a different thing, but while assigning the schema, let us say you'll get all these options here. So this is your own schema. That's why you're not able to see this. But if, let us say, if you're assigning some other schema, some third-party schema, you'll be getting all these options. Create any is there. So given create any access, you'll be allowed to create any data under that schema, like tables, views, or anything that you want. Anything that you've decided, you basically get it from there. All privileges, nothing but selecting all privileges. And check all the privileges that are available for that particular schema, which is going to give unlimited access to that user for that particular schema. It's up to you again. It's up to you, and it's up to the requirement that you give this access to the user. Usually will not give all privileges to the user because you'll be able to do anything with your schema. You have to always be the owner of the schema. If you are giving all privileges, then it's called a shared owner thing. Like you're not the only owner of a schema, although you have created that schema. You have created the table views and all that. But always remember, if you are giving all privileges to the user, he'll be able to do anything similar to you in the schema. Just be careful for that. I'm coming to drop an alter. Suppose if I've created any view here. I've created some table here. Let me show you this. Create under system I've created, or under best I've created some table here. Let me expand that schema and show you that what happened. I think children was Uncle downing the developer. I don't know what happened. Let me refresh this. Something wrong with the system. There is some issue with the best user ID. I removed it. Let us use hello instead. Let me create a table for you quickly. I go to catalog. Very solid schema and creating a table view. But we are able to. Let us see if it has been absent. This table under the schema. Just refresh this and you'll be able to see the new table. This is the table that we have created. So let us say we have created a table. So this will be able to drop it anyways because we are owner of the schema. Hello is our own schema. So we will be able to drop it. Dropping is nothing but deleting. We'll be able to delete this. It will give you this option. If different objects exist, no objects will be deleted. Let us say you have created some views using this table. And it is simply saying that only this table will be deleted, but the view will be intact. And the other tables which are added to that views will be intact. If you select cascade, what is going to happen? All the objects that are linked to this table object are also deleted along with it. So it is giving you a warning message here. The object and all its dependent objects will be deleted. If you are going to select this option, so always be careful when you do something and you are deleting any view. Not the modelers or developers will take care of this. It's not our headache because we are not. We are only seeing this part. Session. We are not going to delete it in the real time as a security admin. Excuse me. You can either delete the object or you can delete all those which are there. I'm going to delete the object here, catalog object here. I'm going to select cascade so that all dependencies are removed. So I'll be able to drop it. And now it is dropped under efficiency. Now we just drop. Let us say this is the table which we have created. We have dropped it also. Let us go and see. Let us say this is my system user ID. And let me create a new table here under catalog. Where is my schema? My schema is obviously the system schema. In system schema. Let me create a table. There are many tables. I think that I have already created this table. This table is already there. PMP table is already there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to assign the system schema access to my user alone because I'm the owner. I'm going to go to user section. In user section, I'm going to select hello. In hello, what we will go to what privilege do I need to add now? I should add system schema here. System schema, because we have created the table under what schema? System schema. So I'll select system schema. Let's see if the system schema is coming up. It's taking some time to search. System schema should come directly. Since we have everything under system schema, so we will try to do that. It's hard to search that way. Let's do one thing. Let's create a new schema under the system user ID, which will be what? What will you call it? Call the schema if you create it on your own. It's called user-defined schema. You can open a store console. Under this catalog, you can create the scheme. How do you create schema? You'll use query to create a schema. Create schema. Just once you are done with this, you can execute. What happened? It's throwing some error. Could not execute time. Incorrect. There is some issue. The spelling is wrong, so it is not allowing us to do this. Let's correct it and let's exit. You'll be able to create the schema successfully. So statement is executed successfully and the schema is created. So to see the schema, you have to refresh. Select refresh and you'll be able to see the schema TeamPP. Under TeamPP, I'm going to create a new table. Let me close all the sessions here. So what we'll have it here? We'll have something called TeamPP, and that is the value that we have here. Let us name the table as well. I'll name it as TeamP. It will come. So this is the table which we have created under TeamPP schema. This is a user-defined schema which is created by the system. User ID. So what I'm going to do, let me close this thing. It's already over. So I'll go under user folder now. I'll go under hello. Now it will be easy for me to identify that particular schema to add it. So this is the schema section that we have. Select. And what do we have here? Am I wrong? No, it's correct. But it is showing me the table instead. But I've given this. This thing has a wrong with the system. You got it. This is the schema that we have created. I've added that schema. Let us say I'm not giving drop access. I'm only giving select access to user. Hello. So if I only give select access to user hello, he'll only be able to see the data. he'll not be able to drop the table or delete the table from that particular schema. Let me show you that. Now I've assigned TeamPP privilege to him. Now what Hello will be able to see? Hello will be able to see the privilege under this schema. Let me refresh this user ID. This user ID got refreshed. Now let us see the schema. The schema is added or not. See, the schema is added. And schema will have only the select privilege. So if only under select privilege table, we have created under this tables. Let us see. You will be able to view the content of TeamPP. You can open the content as a user, ID hello. You'll be able to see. This is the content that you have. Close this. Try to drop this or delete. Let us try. Let us see if it is giving any warning or not. It will not allow you to drop the table until you have the sufficient privilege. It will only allow you to view the data in TeamPP. So, in order to get him going, in order to give him access to drop the table, what do you need to do? You need to give access for him to drop. I'll click on access. So he'll be able to drop any data under this schema. So this is your control center bus. So whatever access you want to control, which is related to your object, privilege or beat, any privilege that we are going to see in our further sessions, system privilege or analytical, whatever privilege. So the access that you want to restrict for that particular object is controlled under this center. Basically, this is your control center where you control everything related to your object schema. I'll not extend this session. I'm going to wrap this session up, but please take it into. So now I've assigned drop. Drop access, drop privilege to the user. Hello. So now what you're going to do, always refresh it once you get sufficient access. I'm going to refresh this. And now I'm going to try once again to drop the table as user hello. Under tables there is a TeamPP table. Now try to delete it. Is it gone or not? It's gone. They were able to successfully delete it. So that is what this drop command does. It will allow you to drop any kind of data. Now I am only showing you the table data. Guys, you can drop any data under the schema. Basically, you have multiple data. You will be having triggers, you will be having views. You will be having synonyms, sequences, and procedures is another very important topic. And procedures, people are going to use programming. The developers are going to use programming to create multiple processes. These procedures will be used by the modelers. So this is a very important topic. So whatever data that you have under this particular schema, user will be able to drop any kind of data from this object. Always be careful when you're giving drop access to someone or delete access to someone. Both act similarly. Never give access to drop. That's my suggestion. Always give access to select or execute. Select will give you to view the data. Execute will give you access to add any data. Same goes for index also. So if you're not giving index to your table value, like I've created a table and I've added some value, they're called some temporary entry, I've given in the table, but I have not given the index. So if you are not going to give the index, it is going to be very hard. It is going to be very difficult. Whenever you're going to execute the query, it will take a lot of time to search for that particular row. So always indexing is key in your SQL tables. Whenever you're creating tables, always you give index. So if you give index, you'll give the access for giving the index to your objects. I'll tell you that drop and alter is same. A drop and alter both are same. You'll be able to do any kind of actions to the schema data that you have. Select, insert, update and delete are all related to your SQL commands. You'll be able to insert select means you'll be able to view the data. You can add any kind of data to that particular table that we have created. Or you can update it and delete is the last thing. You can delete any kind of data in those views, in the table views. Let us say in the table you have the content. We have created one entry. You can delete that entry from the table. So that is what this delete command gives you. Delete command. Select insert update will give you the data as mentioned here. Index already. As I said, you can give indexing. So indexing is always a privilege which is very important when you give it. So while giving this index, the index will always be unique and it will always help you to fetch the data quickly. And this is only this index command. Sorry, this index privilege is only applied to a schema or table and table type. It does not apply to all the privileges that we are going to see. Index is limited. You will not be able to see this index for other than schema or a table. Execute is again, you will be able to execute anything in that particular schema that you assign. That is your execute command. Execute command also you can give. You will be able to add any data into the view by giving execute. You can give execute now. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@upptalk.com.